So just thinking of like mental health stigma, I've seen people who were really excited to have, people of color who were very excited to have therapists of color, and who maybe appeared a little less resistant to showing up for therapy, who maybe practiced self-care more, who were open to exploring things like abuse, like sexual abuse, and not going back to school, just things that maybe would not normally be spoken about in their households or in their lives. I've seen people open up to it in therapy because they're clinicians, or people who look like them and made them feel safe. Just because oftentimes a lot of things happen in families and families don't talk about it, or they victim blame, unfortunately. So it's people repress it, or I've even seen people acknowledge that they've been repressing some things and say proactively, I want to explore that in therapy because I feel now comfortable. Or I want to talk about, the things happening in my family, the things that they would not normally speak about in a public space because they felt comfortable with their clinician. And I feel like that's progress, just because holding it doesn't help. And again, repeats a cycle of just unhealthy behavior and abuse and neglect and repressing or making someone else repress. So I feel like those are successes. I think taking and applying to more jobs and internships and populations they might not normally go to. So I would say at my last job, we had this really wonderful intern from Denmark, in East New York. And she was so dedicated and so genuine and so loved, that people actually just wanted her to move here and continue working with the population. I mean, she was that great and mindful of the people she was working with and where she was. And it was like she fit in. She instantly became family. So part of me feels like taking opportunities in a greater variety of places, showing our faces in places we wouldn't normally go. Like if it is people who normally wouldn't be in East New York coming to East New York, or someone from East New York going to, somewhere in Park Slope that just might not usually be. I think opening our eyes and opening our perspective to different people and places and cultures and introducing ourselves and learning more about each other, I think would make for more diversification. Yeah, showing up in communities that could really use the resources because people want to be engaged. And like you said, people are creative and people like to be engaged in art. People like to express themselves. They love spaces for that. And art is one of the least intimidating ways for people to process and express things. Just showing up for people more in more places, I think is a great way to diversify and get people aware. Thanks for having me, though. Thank you. And again, I feel like I keep thanking y'all for it, but thank you for holding the space for this conversation. I feel like it's a conversation I have in the office and with coworkers or other art therapists, or other clinicians. And there's not really like a public or a large platform. But it's really important, especially now. So thanks.